Okay, so there's how the moto feet work. You can see they just bolt right to the pads. And the ones I was using yesterday from Amazon didn't have wheels. These ones do. Gives you plenty of clearance on the oil pan. And you're supposed to be allowed to even have a transmission hanging off of it. Okay, just a real quick update. I now have a dash installed. There's still some wiring to do, but things are getting pretty good. It fit pretty reasonable. A little massaging, always is with aftermarket stuff. Got the seats sitting relaxing. You can see there's still some wrinkles, so I'll give them a little more time to relax. I've actually started pulling some stuff through the firewall, so we're starting to get that kind of moving. The other major thing is I ordered a new trunk switch because, I don't even know where it is now. But the one back there, it actually doesn't work. So it didn't matter that it wasn't hooked up. It doesn't actually work. So I've got another one coming. Yeah, this is kind of where I'm at for today. This has been printing for 6 hours. I hope this works out the way I want it to. Okay, paint is still drying, but we 3D printed this. I laser etched that, so when that sits in there, you can see, and then I got some little holes in there, how that sits. The light on off switch will be here, the one for the cutouts, and then unfortunately the cap that I wanted is not going to be available this year, so I think we're going to just do more arrows. So there, that's what that looks like. Okay, Jeff wanted to see the light, so I'm doing a silly thing. He's going to hold that and show you. So see, armed, unarmed, armed. Well, I'm just doing it with the jump pack. So that's what that's going to look like. Well, ShopDog says that we're going to come in putts for just a little bit. I got a project I want to hit, and that is installing the fuel pump and sender for the Bent69, which you will see is sitting right here with the new tank. The Holley fuel pump that works with the stock style tank is it's never coming. I've had it on order for months. Every time it's supposed to ship, I get another notice saying that it's going to be delayed another month. So we went ahead and spent a little more. Got another tanks kit. I've used many of these. These are not that hard to set up. I like them. They're foolproof. The only thing I don't like is you got to be a little careful when you're setting up these senders. This swing arm can be an issue. It's not a big problem with this tank, but depending on the shape of your tank and where things are, you got to think that through. But yeah, these are pretty basic. The instructions are pretty good. I'm going to wind up cutting most of that off. It'll go nice and smooth. Just a quick 1-minute video. You can see an awful lot is in here now. We've got wiring bundled now. Several of the sensors are all hooked up. Not the O2, obviously, because, we don't have an exhaust in yet. I've got these power feeds and the 2 fan wires over here that are all going to come up to this corner, by the battery. I've got to do the alternator feeds, the starter feed. I'll dig out some heat shielding. It'll drip down along there with that other wire for the O2 sensor. And then the wiring will be finished. It's getting very close. Oh, and of course some grounds. But you can see it all packs in there pretty tight. And a quick 1-minute video. I'm up a ladder to show just how much has gotten done today. Took this afternoon off. Literally the only wiring left is the triggers for the fan, the powers, up at the battery, and then I've got to do the wiring for the fuel pump back here, which will come through that hole there. And then we've got to do a fuel system. And then once we figure out how we're going to run all the hose and get all this existing stuff out of here, then after the fuel system, we get the, get the tank up and everything, get that all wired, and then get the cooling system in, start doing some testing. Got to do all the fluids. There's no fluids in anything. But yeah, that's a lot right there. All right, gents, we have a fuel system. You will see we've come across. All right, coming back up. It's all temperature shielded. Here is our regulator filter, and then around to the tank. I've got her vented, so I can't do the drive shaft until we do the seat belts, because it's so much easier to mount those from here. And yeah, the only thing I'm missing now is the cooling system, obviously, and then connecting everything up with the battery, doing some testing. We're getting really close. Oh, and the silly fan. So that's where we are. All right, here's where we're at. I did wind up moving that fuel to the rear because that was the length of this hose. There's nothing cut off of this hose. So yeah, need a fuel system, need the fan trigger, and power and ground do a few things. And I do have some donor grounds laying somewhere right here, so I'll go through those and find one, because the original is in really rough shape. But yeah, this is definitely coming along. Now there's no fluid in the brake system yet, so we are gonna have to deal with that. That takes a couple people. And we're a little light on furniture, and we've got to do the shifter, but this is really coming along. All right, we are doing testing. An awful lot's happened off camera. I just haven't had time to deal with it. Fuses are in. Everything looks pretty happy here. Yeah, so we're going to continue some testing here. Yep, go ahead and turn her to start. The key is up on the dash. And I just put the fuel pump relay in, so let's find out if we get fuel. I heard stuff happening.
Little things here and there, ready?
Okay, turn her to on. Oh, it won't kick over. Well, turn her back off again. Do it again.
1, 2.
Okay, copyright. Okay, now that we put the fuse back in for the fuel pump, hey, I just heard the fuel pump run.
There it goes.
Okay, turn her off.
Off.
Okay, fuel pump again. Okay, she spit some air that time.
Something's really...
Okay, turn her off. Okay, something's leaking. All right, let's try this again. Well, that was painless. Don't put her in gear. There's no drive shaft. Well, son of a monkey. Hey, what are you reading for the battery on there?
12.
Yeah, 13-ish, which is what I would expect because we're charging. Temp is low, we expect that. Oh yeah, it's learning how to idle. It's never been started this cold on this engine. And of course, I touch stuff. And you're going to see where we touch stuff with my grubby mitts. So, all right. Good. Dirty hands. you gotta expect that. All this new stuff. That always happens. It's when it's thick clouds, then it's oil. Now this header was, oh yeah, this header was so much fun to put in. So now remember, no drive shaft and no brakes. So, but other than that, I'm
Put any more in there?
yeah, if it's low, yeah. Yeah, this is, and then you can see these guys over here fighting the good fight. Did you hear that start in just like that? I wish I could have planned that. Now the fuel leak, I didn't record that. I didn't plan that. Yeah. Oh, it sounds nice and rumbly. Yeah, when you get the gauges all set up, you're just gonna love it. I like to have them on full brightness during the day, and then go to dim at night. But Kevin can walk you through these because they're the same ones he's got.
Sure.
And of course, we got to do some calibration stuff. That'll happen later. And then now, see how it says 12.4 on the voltage? What happens when I do this? Did it jump up now?
It went from 12.4 to 12.9.
Yeah, that's because you've got that one wire alternator. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah.
Oil dripping underneath, right underneath on the, right down there.
Yeah, it's starting to kind of bounce off the side of the tranny. Remember, I slightly overfilled her because that's my preference. So, all right. Oh, I hate to do it to you, but I think we should shut her down. We don't want her getting too hot yet. Oh, no dieseling, just turns off. Okay, let's let her cool down. Okay, our second learning start, we're going to check what our vacuum is. If you're curious. Now, it's never started under those conditions. Okay. Well, vacuum's still a little low here. Of course, it's a cold engine.
Just pretty low idle. Probably about 550.
Oh, remember we set it down on the dyno. I forgot we did that. Yeah, that's parade low. What happens if we set her to a normal like 625, 650?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the setup on this is pretty straightforward. Let's go to 700 on its thing. Whoa, did you hear that just jump right up? And that should have put us closer to 13 inches here. Now, 11. Of course, one of the things I want to know, ooh, that's rumbly. I like that. Is we are getting vacuum.
Sounds like the header bolts need to be tightened.
Oh yeah. You gotta expect that.